Jasmy's on the move. What's going on? We saw a nice little push yesterday, but is this aligned to the roadmap? It's a while since we've covered it. We need to dive into a little bit of detail as to exactly what's coming with Jasmy. But if your bags are packed, I think you might miss out. All of that in this video. If you're enjoying Jasmy content, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Get into it. So we'll come back and take a look at the chart in a little bit more detail, but interestingly enough, bounced off the 236 Fibonacci at 1928 yesterday, came all the way up and tested the 2136 at the 382 Fibonacci. We are obviously into a new day here in the UK, so we'll keep a very close eye to what's going on with Jasmy. Can we break the 382 with a retest of the 0.5? Could be pretty interesting. But what's going on? Why are we seeing the market move? Why are we seeing Jasmy start to push? Well, there's a couple of things to talk about. DWF Labs continuing to push Junction. They are now starting to look at a WebEx side event, getting out there, letting people know, and ultimately bringing people together so they understand exactly what's coming with Jasmy. And don't forget, there is a ton of stuff. The team, again, linked back to Sony, utility and application. It's here. It's in hardware. We have the partnerships with Aviva. We have partnerships with Sony. We've got also partnerships with many, many other companies. Toyota just names a few. Market potential, remember, 99% of the supply is in circulation. So there is a big upside potential when it comes to Jasmy. And the reality is right now, it is undervalued, as I truly believe the rest of the cryptocurrency market is. So Jasmy is, in my opinion, a long-term player that is going to monetize something that will become incredibly valuable in the long run. And that is your data. Data democratization through the Internet of Things is going to be basically a commodity that's going to be traded with companies. It already is to a degree, and Jasmy is going to offset that, allowing you to basically be the custodian of your data. No longer will cookies be a thing. You will select whether you want to share your data. But we have to kind of take it back, right back to where Hara announced the roadmap and specifically what is going on with it. You can see here 4 key elements to the roadmap, which was the platform popularization, value growth, ecosystem expansion, and the marketplace expansion. So how does that look and where are we at with it? And what does that look like furthermore in terms of a build out? Well, it's very interesting when you start to look at the second phase, where a lot of people believe we are, which is all about building the platform, the volume of personalized data, steadily increasing number of users. Again, the growth period is key to building a community as well as people understand fundamentally what this is all about. Utilizing networks effects. Well, again, think about what we talked about at the very start of this video, DWF events. We've seen them at a number of blockchain events. They are doing exactly that. They are utilizing network effects, building popularization periods, and again, ensuring that they can build an individual but different user base for Jasmy. While increasing number of participants, companies are coming on board. We've actually seen a number of companies come on board and hold Jasmy. And again, these feel like they're building out. There is obviously the big Sony exchange that's going to be launching in Japan. Is Jasmy going to be part of that? And you can actually see the visualization of exactly where Jasmy sits. Year 3, looking at the expansion as to kind of where they want to get to. How does it look in terms of businesses? How does it look in terms of the ecosystem? And more importantly, where do we move onwards and upwards? And then you start getting into the third phase, which we're not quite there yet, but this could be the tip of the iceberg when we get into the bull run. And just that bit at the bottom, it says Jasmy coin during the period will greatly increase liquidity and value. We expect 1,000 enterprises and 6 million individuals will take part in the platform's data transactions by then. When you start to think about what that looks like, when you start looking at what Junction is going to be offering, EVM compatibility, linking into the Ethereum chain, as well as multiple companies that are going to be coming on board, all starts to really fall into place. Now, clearly, everybody still believes that Jasmy is going to zero. Lots of people were completely and utterly wrong about Jasmy and have been for such a long time. When this started to move, we had a monumental move, all built on the back of excitement and built on the back of real world utility that solves a problem, which is fundamentally what happens to your data. And I think Jasmy is absolutely in that place. Now, lots of people are bullish on Jasmy. Lots of people truly believe there is a purpose for what they're doing. And what I do know is that there are executives from Sony and they know how to build a business and they know fundamentally what is important right now. Why? Because they've probably lived through it. The reality is that all in the modern day Internet of Things, your data becomes incredibly important. So what's our price predictions? What does it look like? Lots of people talk significantly about whether it is a $5 Jasmy or even more. If you take a look right now, this is on a Fibonacci extension. So we take the local move again with the push down. What does it look like? Remember, two key numbers to understand. 1.618 Fibonacci and the 2.61 Fibonacci. Well, what does that look like in terms of price action? Well, we'd be looking at potentially the 5.3 range or the 3.9 in the short term. You have to come out into a slightly bigger time frame to understand where this potentially could go, and more importantly, how high it could go. So you can see there, that's where we rallied up to 37 cents at launch. Again, this rallied way beyond that before it got listed on Binance. We know Binance being one of those key suppressors of Jasmy, but you start to understand exactly where we can get to with this, and more importantly, how this all plays out, more importantly, from this Fibonacci levels. And again, on the weekly, it starts to get pretty spicy.